If you are over the age of 60 and still trying to walk every day for exercise, then this is not good news for you. But before I tell you why, I need you to understand that walking can be great exercise for some people. It is actually one of the best exercises for weight loss in my opinion, because most people tend to overestimate how much they walk throughout the day and underestimate how much they eat. So when it comes to losing weight, there is no better exercise than tracking your steps for a few days and then increasing that number by 20% each week. But let me explain who should not be walking and what you should be doing instead. The first group of people who should not be walking for exercise are people with certain medical conditions. Like if you have osteoarthritis in your knees or back or hips, walking is actually one of the worst things you can do for these joints. In fact, just like running, walking puts a tremendous amount of stress on your knees. If you run, it's 3 times your body weight going up and down. When you walk, it's about 1 and 2 times your body weight going up and down. And so, if you have bad joints, you really shouldn't be walking for exercise. Instead, you should be doing low-impact exercise that does not involve putting stress on your joints. This includes things like swimming, cycling, elliptical training, rowing, or any other type of cardio where you're not putting stress on your joints. There is also a newer study out there that shows that high-intensity interval training or HIIT training is actually better at burning fat than regular cardio, like walking. You only have to do HIIT training twice a week. So check out some of my other videos on how to do HIIT training properly if you have osteoarthritis or other joint pain. The next group of people that should not be relying on walking for exercise are people with balance problems. So, if you have a history of falls, or if you're getting dizzy when you stand up, or you feel like you might pass out or fall, you should definitely not be walking for exercise. You should be doing seated exercise or chair exercise. And I will show you exactly how to do that in a second. But first, I want to talk about something that will help you balance much better when you stand up and walk. There's an inner ear problem that causes dizziness, nausea, vertigo, ringing in the ears, all these symptoms that can cause you to fall and also make you feel like crap. And this problem starts when there's an imbalance of fluids and minerals inside your inner ear. That's right. We actually have fluid and electrolytes inside our inner ear. And it is very important to keep these balanced because they control your balance. They control your eye movements and they also help you hear. The issue is that as we get older we start to lose minerals like magnesium, potassium and calcium. And when we lose these minerals, we become more susceptible to having low fluid levels and an imbalance of fluids inside our inner ear, and that leads to issues with balance and many other health problems, like high blood pressure. Now, there's actually a simple solution to fix this problem. It's called a vestibular rehabilitation program. I'm going to tell you about it in a second. But first, let me show you what you should be doing instead of walking for exercise if you have balance problems. So here's what you're gonna do. Sit down in a chair that's sturdy and has a backrest. You're gonna sit upright in the chair. Don't slouch, and you try to do the same exact arm movements at the same time while you pedal your feet like you riding a bicycle. So you'll see me here. I am do arm movements. And I'm try to keep my balance as I pedal forward and backward. So it looks like this. Okay, and you can also add resistance by lifting up your feet slightly off the ground as you pedal, and you can add more resistance by bending your knees a little bit more. And then finally, you can add even more resistance by standing up in the chair. This is very challenging, but you can work your way up to it. Okay, now you see me here. I'm doing all sorts of things to build strength and endurance in this chair. It looks fun, right? Well, it is fun. Trust me, You're gonna love it. Again, make sure you don't slouch and try to keep your balance as you do this. The next group of people who should not be walking for exercise are people with severe heart problems. So, if you have congestive heart failure, if you have severe arrhythmias or irregular heartbeats, or if you've had a recent heart attack, you should definitely check with your doctor before you start walking for exercise. So if you have some of these conditions, you may still be able to do walking, but you may have to do something called modified walking. So instead of walking at a normal pace, you would have to walk very slowly and you'd have to take more breaks. But again, you need to talk to your doctor before you start any kind of exercise program if you have severe heart problems. The next group of people who should not be walking are people with severe lung problems, like COPD or emphysema. Walking can actually be very dangerous for these people, because it can cause them to get out of breath very quickly and they could end up passing out from lack of oxygen. So, if you have severe lung problems, please talk to your doctor about what type of exercise you should be doing. Some people with lung problems can do things like swimming or cycling, which doesn't require as much effort breathing-wise as walking. And finally, the last group of people who should not be walking for exercise are people with severe vascular or blood flow problems, especially in your lower extremities. So, if you have severe swelling in your ankles or your feet, if you have ulcers on your feet, if you have wounds that are slow to heal on your legs or your feet, if you have sores on your legs or your feet, or if you have a lot of spider veins or varicose veins, you may not be able to walk for exercise. You may need to do something else, like maybe swimming or cycling. Swimming is actually one of the best exercises for people with leg problems, because it takes the stress off of your legs entirely and it works your upper body as well as your core muscles. Now, if you're not in any of those groups and you're still over the age of 60, you should still be careful when you walk. Make sure you use proper form. Don't slouch. Look up, look straight ahead. Use proper posture. Don't breathe through your mouth. Breathe through your nose. And make sure you're not walking too fast. You should be able to talk while you walk. If you can't talk while you walk, you're walking too fast. You should be walking at a very slow, steady pace where you can easily hold a conversation. Also, make sure you have good shoes. Go to a running store to get fitted for shoes. And if you have any type of foot, ankle, or leg pain when you walk, you should definitely see a podiatrist to make sure you don't have any biomechanical problems that are causing you pain. And again, if you're over the age of 60 and you're still walking, you need to understand that you're probably not getting the results that you want. Walking has been shown to be less effective at helping you lose weight and keep it off, especially in women over the age of 60. In fact, studies show that the average weight loss from walking for people over the age of 60 is only about 1 to 3 pounds, which is not very much weight at all. So if you're over the age of 60 and you're still trying to walk every day for exercise, stop wasting your time. You should be doing something else that gives you better results. You should be doing strength training, for example. Or if you have balance problems or joint problems, you should be doing chair exercises. I hope this video helps. This is the doctor. I'll see you next time. Hey, before you go, if you're benefiting from any of my content, I would love to hear about your success story. Please share it in the link down below.